The following video presentation allows an insight into my educational ideology and what I believe schools in England should be like. I had a long hard think about how I feel I would want schools to be, and in the end I came up with 12 educational policies that link fully with my views of education. In the next couple of minutes I will talk you through each of my policies and why I believe education should be this way. Collaborative learning. My views of collaborative learning are very similar to that of Vygotsky's, in a way that I believe children of all abilities benefit from helping others understand. Vygotsky's theory of zone of proximal development also is supported by Montessori's views on collaborative learning, as it looks at the gap between what a child can do alone and what they can do with the help of someone more skilled or experienced. Pound 2006. By having the children work together, Vygotsky believed that interaction between the children is a benefit when they are helped by another child who seems to be more knowledgeable of the task. He also claimed that this interaction not only helps the child being helped, but also the more knowledgeable child, as the process of making their ideas more explicit renders the grasp of what they know clearer and more objective. Pound 2006. Time to play. There are many key theorists, such as Steiner and Montessori, who agree with this educational ideology of allowing the children to play and actually be a child for as long as they can be. I agree with their views on allowing a child to play, but I do feel that a child also needs to learn and be stimulated. Play allows for children's imagination and socialization to develop, which could then help with their English, for example, when they come to write a story, and with making and maintaining friendships outside their classroom. Allowing a child to play also gives them a break from what can be felt as a stressful school environment. Grouped by stage. By having no year groups and having stages instead, I feel that there is less pressure and humiliation on a child when they are underperforming to what their age group is supposed to. This works for not only those that struggle and may need more help and time, but also for those that excel in certain subjects as they are not being held back. Choice. Not every child learns the same, and not every child will understand all tasks that are set in front of them. In my educational ideology, when a task or objective is set, there should be 4 options on how they can achieve this objective. This is supported by Fleming and Mill's 1992's VARC model, which shows that there are 4 different types of learners: kinesthetic, auditory, read/write, and visual. And so by giving an option to achieve each task objective that works for each of the different types of learners, children are more likely to understand and achieve in that topic subject. Summative and formative assessment. My educational ideology is based on me agreeing with what is currently happening in schools with summative assessments, but also trying to incorporate a lot more of formative assessing, and also trying to move away from summative assessments being so academic. I feel that summative assessing is needed in education just to see what level the children are at and whether they are reaching their own personal goals. I also agree with formative assessments as they allow for teachers to understand as the lesson is going on whether or not their current teaching style is working for certain pupils, and so this can be slightly adapted to suit. Later start time. Research by Open University 2017 found that the amount of absences for 13 to 15-year-olds dropped by 50% after the start time of their school increased to 10 a.m. Dr. Paul Kelly, who led the study, stated that these young teenagers have shown schools and parents around the world the start times that match their biological circadian rhythms will keep them healthy. I thought about this maybe being an issue for parents and guardians, but in my ideal educational view, schools would still be open at the same time as they are now to allow children whose parents might not be able to drop them off any later have somewhere safe to be. However, lessons would not start until 10 a.m, and so pupils would not be expected to come to school any earlier than that unless needed. A later start time allows for children to be better prepared for school, for example eating breakfast, which will all in all benefit this pupil. Parent, teacher, student. It is important that parents, teachers, and the child are all on the same line, pushing for the same goal. Some parents may find it difficult to help their children at home with their homework, for example. So, by arranging after-school classes and what the child is learning about each week or each month, parents will be more equipped to help their child. Alongside this, parents could help the teacher gain a better understanding of how the child reacts to certain rewards and punishments. With the teacher helping the parent helping the teacher, and both of them helping the child, this is a consensus of how or what the student should be learning. Range of subjects/interests. Along with the 3 basic subjects of maths, English and science that I've spoken about previously, I also feel that students should be given a wide choice of other subjects and interests that they can invest the rest of the school day into. In an ideal world, in order for this to work to its maximum potential, I feel that having schools specific to different types of subjects, such as performing arts, for example, which also teaches the basic three subjects, but having the rest of the day is on a subject that you're inspired by. More focus on health and living. In my opinion, schooling should have more focus on how the child is developing, not just academically, but also socially and mentally. I feel everyone should understand how to look after themselves, such as cleanliness and first aiding. By talking more about mental health, for example, children are more knowledgeable of themselves and are more likely to be able to ask for help if it is a well-known problem that is spoke about regularly. Work at own pace. By allowing a child to work at their own pace, it decreases the level of anxiety and pressure that is felt when attempting to meet a deadline and by trying to conform to finishing. By doing this, the child may not complete the task to the best of their ability. By being given the time and space to complete the task at hand, students are allowed to fully understand the subject topic before moving on. Physical activity. Physical activity has proven many times to increase a person's well-being and happiness, but also to increase people's grades and decrease their stress levels. I feel in my personal ideology that physical activity should be compulsory due to its many benefits. By taking part in any form of physical activity, children are more focused later on when they are back in their lessons, so they have got out all their wanted energy and so can concentrate better. Basic subjects. I believe that all students should have a basic understanding of three main subjects: maths, English and science. However, rather than what the current curriculum teaches of what some people would see as pointless knowledge, but on situations that everyone faces in everyday life. For example, in a maths lesson, being taught conversions from centimetres to millilitres or taxes. In an English lesson, being taught basic reading and writing. And maybe in a science lesson, just being taught how things work, such as what to do if the electricity goes off and why it does it, or about the human body and how to look after it. Those are my 12 educational principles. Thank you for listening.